Sup YouTube, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are taking a look at a really busted team. That's cap. It's a really strong team in the Master Premier Cup, and honestly, one of my favorite teams. If you're not new to the channel, then you know I hound about this team being really good in the Open Master League, and that's exactly why I want to showcase this team. Because I know for the last 2 weeks of this season, there is only Open Master League and some, in my opinion, pretty shit cups. So if you only build 3 mons, work on building these 3 for when the Master League returns. You will become a legend. Before I get started with the battles, massive shout out and thank you to Ninja, the originator of the No Arms gang. Thank you for your support on the channel, man. It really means a lot. Without further delay, let's get into these battles. So, your typical ABB style team, Dragon in the lead, 2 steals in the back to cover that weakness, and vice versa. Why do I love this team so much? It performs amazing in the Open Master League, but it also performs quite well in the Master Premier. As of today, this will be the final day that you're able to play Master Premier. If you're looking to gain some elo and you have these 3 mons available to you, definitely give it a shot. It's a really strong team. I can't recommend it enough, honestly. And eventually I'll start to sound like a one note because I'm just gonna always hound about how good this team is. So we did invest a shield against the Snorlax, although we did tank the first body slam. They don't want to go 2 shields down, and now I am kind of cooked. I go for the extra because I will outpace the Chandelure, or so I believe. And you have to throw on proper timing. Throw 2 mud shots for their every 1 incinerate. That's a 2-turn move versus a 5-turn move. You can get 2 mud shots in. They get my final shield, and then they come in with Haxorus. And now I'm thinking my win con is going to be to sack my Dragonite and then to farm down with Metagross. They haven't left with a move, and I have to hope that I can outpace to the EQ and take out that beautiful Chandelier. We are going to have to tank a Night Slash. Haxorus is really fucking annoying. I hate this Pokemon, but I also want to build it up. It's almost as annoying as Bastiodon to me. I don't know if that was I don't know if this was triple Shundos now that I'm thinking about it. But we do make it to the EQ, and it's lights out for our opponent, so GG's. Next up, what do you do against a flower lead? Well, unfortunately for us, we gotta swap out. This isn't the hardest response to an Excadrill, though. Typically what you would see is a Gyarados, and if they're ballsy, they'll try to farm you down and invest a shield, at which point, I think I showcased in this battle, so just stay tuned. I throw both of my drill runs off just to see what they want to do. Now, they won't be able to bait and outpace. So I shield. I do correctly shield the high horsepower. However, your boy chickens out at the last second because I didn't want them to have Fire Punch and take me out. And that probably would have taken me out from that range. So I did send off some energy. I probably could have continued to overfarm, which would have been really nice considering they have an Excadrill. I farm up to just before they get to their drill run, since I am a hundo, but I'm not fully powered up. So even if your mons aren't that powered up, don't fret, all right? It's not that bad. As long as you're like around level 45, you should be good. My opponent is farming up. I believe they're 1 away from the next move. So I throw this superpower here to force them to make a decision. Depending on what they do here, it's GG's. Because now we can bring in the Metagross, and the Florges decides that it doesn't want any of that smoke. If you're enjoying the battle so far, definitely leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. How do you do against a Shadow Metagross? You actually win that pretty comfortably. However, I don't have the best response to this thing, so I'm just going to stay in here. Excadrill is a damn good response to a Shadow Metagross. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play out the 0 shields. Okay, never mind. Look at me talking nonsense. Who played these games? It wasn't me. I didn't think I could commit to a farm down, so I want to force them to make a decision. Maybe I should have gone for the CMP. That would have been sexier, but I'm not that good. Definitely not that good. They're going to come back in with the Togekiss, and at this point, I just need to let myself go down because this game is done. No amount of energy lead is going to allow me to lose this unless I get hit with some nice, sexy lag. I go 1 before their next move, and now if they shield this, I'm going to let Metagross go down, and I'm hoping this is an Aura Sphere, but I also thought Excadrill would be able to win me this game. They stay in a little too long. I just need to go for the Meteor Mash here. This thing hurts, like a lot. So they do shield, and I come in with the Mole Rat. They haven't thrown yet, so I go immediately for the Drill Run. And this will KO a Shadow Metagross. It wouldn't KO a non-Shadow Metagross from full health. And then, you know, for style points, I go for the drill run, which was incredibly disrespectful. Don't do that. Be better than me. Be better than the Gap. Okay, what do you do when you get your cheeks clapped again? You come in, oh man, this is, you know, some games, you're just gonna lose. There's just nothing you can do. However, you can learn from my mistake. Conkeldurr will invest a shield and farm you down because that's just what this Stonehenge man or whatever the frick he's called does. However, what he also does is he's a master baiter, which means never shield the first move. The Stonehenge isn't gonna KO, you're fine, but they always bait with a dynamic punch. Why? No fucking idea. No idea. But these Conkeldurrs, man, they really love to test you. Unfortunately, both of these moves are doubly resisted. And yeah, this is about as good as this matchup goes. I'm gonna shield this just for kicks and giggles. I think I go for the Meteor Mash because I'm expecting a shield, because I don't think the Chandelure wants to get cooked, and I think they do respect it. They do, but I'm just, yeah, I just not able to do too much damage to it. I think a Meteor Mash does about 50%, but that was just pretty mon for mon countered, and that will happen, and that's fine. You take those, you know, you take them on the chin like a man. What I learned about this matchup, though, is that as good as you are, one, you should be quicker to the swap. I waited a little too long. And two, if you get the defense spell, you will lose this match. I think. I didn't want to invest a shield because I knew they would get to the back-to-back. And I was hoping that it wasn't double ice, because if it was double ice, I would actually need some energy on my Dragonite. So maybe I should have invested the shield. I probably should have. They go for another crunch, and if they had gotten the debuff, maybe the, I forget what move is it rocks, Frost Breath? Would have done enough damage. I go for this immediately because I don't want to take another move. I also can't count Frost Breath for whatever reason. I go based off sound, and usually the sound is a little wonky. And they come in with Waterfall Gary, obviously. I stay in a little bit too long, and there's a Primarina in the back. So there was hope. There was. But I royally screwed that up. Once again, another flower lead. Why? Because these are the most difficult to come back from, so that when you do come back from them, you feel like a freaking champ. So, like I said before, if they want to farm you down, they will have to invest a shield. Don't invest a shield. Don't flip this. This is nice farm down range for a Florges, not for a Togekiss. Against the Togekiss, maybe I would invest a shield, just to force them to also invest a shield. But you can farm this thing all the way down to Shitty Pot Town. Throw a superpower, because your switch timer's not up yet. I probably should have waited a little. But you do want to throw the superpower, because this will put it into, and you'll see eventually, spoiler alert, they do have a Dragonite in the back, which is a little better for me. And we're just going to go for the Meteor Mash. And I'm banking on Dragonite being able to flip this. I'm just going to let this go. A superpower doesn't KO you from here. And I just go for the Meteor Mash immediately, force them to make a decision. And if I get that second shield, then I think that in the 2-0 shield scenario, I should be able to beat that annoying flower, is my thought. But I do invest a shield, and then, oh, I guess I sacked the Dragonite. What the hell am I thinking? Never mind, this isn't this match. Oh no, it is. It is. My opponent is going to try to farm me down because they need back-to-backs, and my Metagross is low enough that a Moonblast will KO. But what you're going to see is my boy Too Thick hangs on with 1 HP in a dream of becoming the very best like no one ever was. And we have the Meteor Mash just about loaded. And we take out that pretty difficult line. Not as RPS as the previous ones. You know, Metagross 2 shields up can do a lot. It can dream big. Now, how do you play this matchup? Shield. Oh, actually, yeah, swap fast enough where you can outpace to the Meteor Mash, force them to make a decision. They decide to let it go. This is a Waterfall Gary. However, this isn't as bad as you would think. Throw on proper timing. If you don't know about move counts, check out Wallower's vid. Just type in Wallower fast move timing. It's a really instructional video. The reason I say that is because my opponent decides not to go for the crunch, thinking I would shield, and I'm able to get to this next Meteor Mash, and this will force a shield, because it would take out the Gyarados. They come in with the Primarina, 2-1 shields. This is my game. My opponent concedes the match. Togekiss lead. This is gonna be tough. You swap in Exca. It's your not hardest counter. They were a little slow, so you do outpace. Machamp might try to commit to the farm down like Conkeldurr. It has a much better matchup against Dragonite because it does get to the Stone Edges quicker. However, it is a little glassier than Conkeldurr. And because I knew I was at the next drill run, I'm going to force a shield from them and have it be 1-to-1 shields. And I was thinking that, okay, maybe Dragonite might have some play, but I don't really want to shield a Rock Slide on this thing. And lucky for me, they did build up to the Rock Slide, but I think they're rocking Stone Edge because they threw the Cross Chop, and that was my only saving grace. And now this is still pretty RPS. I try to play out the game, but unless I had taken that second shield, there's no way I'm coming back from this. I need to build up to 2 moves. My opponent doesn't need to bait. They do bait me, which might be a mistake. But as soon as this move goes through, there's not much I can do. And so I'm gonna commit to a farm down here. If this was a Florges, not even. I would need a shield advantage against this. I built up to the Hurricane because I was feeling kind of testy. And I was like, all right, you know what? At least give me your shield. All right, I'll top left. So we take one for the books. A heartbreaking loss, but also a really difficult team. So, you know, there's teams that you just won't be able to do anything against. And that's fine. Most of these neutral situation matchups is where this team shines. In the Master Premier, difficult leads are a different beast because this team plays out of those so sexily that I'm honestly surprised not more people use this team for the Open Master. So, Meteor Mash doesn't KO, but I do want to at least force some damage on this thing. They shield, which is fine. I'm not going to respect this. They go for the Body Slam. I was just feeling a little ballsy, and I'm like, you know what? If they superpower me, they superpower me. But they go for the Body Slam again, and we survive on like 2 HP in a dream. And I either get their second shield, or they go down. They do invest a second shield. I believe a Meteor Mash would have KO'd the Shadow from that health range. And now I can come in with Derp Knight, and they try to catch. They try to catch the superpower, and this gives me a massive incentive. Because now I can shield this move, even if it is a Meteor Mash. Meteor Mash does like 50%. Granted, a superpower would have KO'd. And here is where you could argue that, like, I didn't really know my matchups all that well. Because I go for the Drill Run, and the Drill Run on a Shadow from this health range won't KO. However, now I can shield farm this thing down and hope Excadrill has some play in the back. And what's in the back? A Dragonite. And this game is over. Because I will outpace to my back-to-back Rock Slides. The Dragonite has a Dragon Claw loaded. If I wanted to get fancy, I might have come in with it. But, you know, I didn't want to try to get too fancy. But yes, this team is incredibly strong. It's your standard ABB team. It's not a new team. It's a team that's been around forever. However, the Open Master League will come back for the final 2 weeks of this season. If you're looking to climb with a really strong, non-legendary, no raids required team, you will need to invest some XLs, at least level 45, 48, you know, in between that range. Preferably 50s, if you can. But I know that resources are limited, and Master League isn't everyone's cup of tea. Prep these 3 mons, because I will be dropping a video when Open Master League returns on how to play this team to massive success in the Open Master League. I hope I don't eat my words, because I will need to play some battles in order to make the content. Definitely give this team a try before the leagues rotate, and I'll catch you in that next video. Peace.